So we meet at a critical moment in history amidst a confluence of five profound crises. First, a catastrophic health crisis. Second, a global economic crisis. Third, an accelerating climate crisis. Fourth, a crisis of inequality, including systemic racism. And fifth, a crisis of democracy, reflecting eroding citizen trust in their governments, who they perceive to be disconnected, corrupt, or captured, and the rise of authoritarian leaders attacking civil liberties, spreading disinformation. But at this same moment in history, anti-corruption and open government reformers gathered here today can show an alternative, a more hopeful way forward. And for this, let me suggest three open government approaches that we all can collectively advance, scaling up concrete reforms that government and civil society across 78 member countries of the Open Government Partnership, or OGP, are implementing through OGP action plans. So first, we must ensure a robust and equitable recovery through transparency, participation, and oversight over the staggering $12 trillion COVID-19 stimulus and safety nets. Millions of lives and livelihoods are at stake, but with so much money moving so fast, COVID-19 corruption scandals are also mushrooming. We need open budgets and open contracts so citizens can follow the money. For example, Paraguay's Mapa Inversiones and South Africa's Bulikamali platforms publish COVID-19 funds and contracts and engage citizens, marginalized communities, women, and youth for feedback and oversight. Armenia and Nigeria's OGP commitment on transparency in company ownership empowers citizens to ensure that COVID-19 bailouts and contracts are not captured by the politically connected. Second, we must tackle systemic inequalities in income, race, and gender laid bare by the pandemic. We need fairer systems of taxation and expenditures to benefit historically marginalized communities. For instance, Kenya ensures through OGP that 30% of public procurement contracts go to women, youth, and persons of disability. We need sustainable green recovery that also empowers marginalized communities. Ecuador has committed through OGP to implement the Escazú Agreement, empowering historically marginalized communities with access to information and justice on environmental matters. And third, we must build back more resilient and citizen-centric democracy. We must tackle disinformation and digital threats to democracy, hold social media platforms accountable, and roll back arbitrary restrictions on civic space, media freedom, civic space, and access to information that have been imposed during the pandemic. For example, the Tunisian government has pledged public funding for independent media to continue operating during the pandemic. In Mexico, following the 2017 illegal surveillance scandal, the new government committed to multi-stakeholder oversight of the state's digital surveillance. With open civic space, let us scale up reforms that empower citizens to shape policies and services that impact their lives, like Kaduna, Nigeria's Citizen Eyes and Ears, or Italy's Open Coesione, through which governments disclose the geolocation of projects and empower citizens to become on-the-ground monitors of public services. Now, the next year, 2021, offers us three unprecedented opportunities to scale up these ambitious reforms, leveraging the OGP platform. First, in 2021, a record 100 OGP action plans will be co-created, and I call on all civil society and government reformers on this call to use these action plans to advance ambitious open government commitment. Second, in 2021, we can leverage the political momentum of the incoming Biden administration and leverage upcoming global forums focused on corruption and democracy, UNGAS, G7, G20, Biden's Summit for Democracy. But we need to ensure that these don't remain as talk shops. Following the London Anti-Corruption Summit, 20 OGP countries translated their summit commitments through OGP action plans. So let us hold leaders accountable to translate lofty pronouncements in global forums through concrete OGP action plans in 2021. And third, 2021 also marks the 10th anniversary of OGP. And South Korea will be hosting the Global Summit of OGP, providing a global platform to showcase transformative open government reforms. So in closing, let us set ourselves a collective one-year target. From IACC today to when we meet in exactly 1 year at the OGP Global Summit, hopefully in South Korea in person in December 2021, let us aim that 100 national and local governments from north to south, working with civil society, are advancing ambitious reforms through OGP action plans to open budgets, contracts, company ownership, empower historically marginalized groups, and protect civic space and media freedoms. And also at this OGP Global Summit, where South Korean President Moon will be inviting all OGP's 78 heads of states, civil society activists, and partners. Let us together forge a countervailing force against authoritarianism and illiberal democracies that have been on the rise for a decade. Let us seize on this moment in history to turn the tide. And let us indeed show a more hopeful way forward by forging a positive global force to reinvigorate democracy and fight corruption. Thank you, Janina.